Mr. Terry,
Hey.
terrific Terry Tuesday with 12 races on this day at the Ben Salem, Pennsylvania track. Boy, a lot of races, a lot of horses, a lot going on.
Yeah, well, they're trying to make up for all those days they lost from the flooding.
Well, I know they've got a lot of races over there. So that's right. They were closed for a day or two over there.
Uh-huh.
Well, we'll see if indeed we can do well. I had a decent day yesterday. I think we had a bunch of exactas, trifectas in our picks. So hopefully we can repeat that again today at these big fields at Parx. 90 some odd degrees. It's going to be fast. It's going to be hot racing. And then, of course, we always have some hot racing picks that are free. Today, they are at FanDuel here in Illinois. So you can get those over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description down below. Kindly click on that, and you'll see we used to be Fairmont Park. Amazing Angie is our top pick. Horse number 8 in the first race there. Another great pick is to go over to horseracingtoday.net. You'll see that, like yesterday, when the show is over, Terry and I will post all of our comments from the show along with the replay of the show. You can catch that at horseracingtoday.net. It will be the top story. You won't miss it on the homepage. And while you're there, kindly hit the HRT gear. Head on over there and get yourself a Horse Racing Today hat or gear like Terry and I are sporting today. You won't look as good as Terry, but you'll come close. So, hey, guys, let's get going. Yes, indeed, Don Johnson, we're about to get going. Race 1 predictions. Luke, you are a segue of sorts, right? Someone who can predict the future. So hopefully we can, too. We don't need to predict the future to know about the race conditions, though.
Yeah, it's 6 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $21,000 for fillies 3-year-olds or fillies and mares 4-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 2 races.
That's right. And then at 6 furlongs, you're looking for the profile of a winner, the kind of horse that typically wins at the Pennsylvania track. Excuse me, I'm trying to close some stuff that I have open that's just kind of in my way so I don't confuse myself. But 6 furlongs, tactical speed does great. 36% of the time they go wire to wire. There is a little bit of a rail bonus for Corona Campeon. 2 and 3 play fair. Anything out, it's a little bit of a discount. We also do 10,000 simulations. You can't find these anywhere else on the planet, where we want to project who's going to have the lead at the quarter-mile marker. And then based upon our projected pace, which horses are likely to be in their comfort zone and watch this pace mirror their best performances. Also want to calculate out, project 10,000 times what their speed figure might be to see what percentage of the time a horse might run a speed figure above par for this level. That's 75, so an average kind of race. And then we calculate our own odds, trying to find horses that we feel can offer some value. We want to see the post-time odds higher than our simulation odds. That creates value. Terry, speed matters, and a couple of them look like they have the most of it.
Yeah, some of them have speed in here, but the 2 that have the most are the 3 and the 4, and they could go head-to-head to the quarter pole, see who gets there first. The 4 shows an overlay from a 3.5 to 1 to 4.5 to 1. And the 10 shows an overlay from about 4 to 5 to 7 to 5. And then the 10 and the 4 show the only 2 par plus numbers. And then all but the 2 and 9 show C zones.
And then we also do trip handicapping here, Mr. Terry. We want to see what the race shape looks like. And you look at here, the E's want to be on the front, a whole bunch of them set to go for the lead. The 9 and the 11, they want to pressure. The EP types can pressure or close, pilot or co-pilot. PC types, they can run pretty much anywhere on the track. We got none of those today. 2, 7, and 10, they look like they want to close. The 8 horse has not been within 5 lengths of the leader so far at the finish line. So as we take a look at the early speed, who is the speed of the speed? The 4 horse, Treasure Piece, a little bit quicker than Battaglia. Sweet Mischief, the 3. So it looks like all the front runners definitely tend on being up there. It looks like the middle horses want to be in the middle and the closers want to close. Everybody ought to be on the track where they want to be. As far as your late speed is concerned, it does look like the 10 horse, Sweet Fury, a closer, should be the quickest down the stretch, along with the pressure horse, the 11. This race just on the surface looks like it's pretty wide open, Terry, although the 10 horse, Sweet Fury, with a 6-point total advantage over everybody else, but also the simulation favorite. Terry, tell us where it fits in your rankings.
I like Sweet Fury as my first choice. Has not raced for more than a year, but he comes back and drops in class. Has a good 4 furlong workout on June 14th, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I like the number one Corona Capone. He finished third versus Tupper in his last race. Drops in class today. Has the highest high percentage winning jockey. Then number four Treasure Piece won his last race at Parx Racing, and his early speed running style will help his chances. Battaglia, the 5, is my long shot. He finished in the money in 3 out of the last 4 races, winning one of the starts, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. And what we do is we have a budget of $100. We bet $2 to win on our first choice. We do a $1 exacta box on our first 2 choices, a 50-cent trifecta box on our first 3 choices, and a 10-cent trifecta superfecta box on our first 4 choices, and that's like $8.40. And today we have 12 races, so we don't have any additional money that we can spend.
We ain't got no money left. But Terry, you can still tell us which horse would have been your best bet of the day.
I will do that.
Is the one a single in race 1
yes.
or no? Corona Campione. Well, you think it is, Leo? We both don't have that horse on front. Terry does. I think maybe I don't know. I have the 4 horse as my top pick. I think if any of them is going to be the single, might be the 10 in there. I like the 4 horse Treasure Piece. It's a wide open race in here, I feel like, for sure. So I'm going to take the one that has the best chance to be on the lead and have the least amount of problems. The 10 horse Sweet Fury taking a pretty big class drop in here, Terry, but been off for more than a year, and the works are just okay. Battaglia, the 5 horse, one of Barry Meadows. Alpha Angles upped its speed figure in the last 3 starts. Another horse that'll contend for the lead early on. And then there's that 1 horse, Corona Campione, lowest level of its career after firing a little better early pace last time out at the start. And according to Craig Milkowski from Timeform US, that's another angle that has a pretty high win percentage. In the first to win for Enrique Martinez is the 10 horse. If, like Don Johnson or Luke or Leo or Enrique, you have questions, comments, suggestions, please let us know in the comment section. It helps us with the interactivity, but also helps us with some algorithms. Race 2, Terry, next up on our docket today. One of the Don Johnson pick 4 start in this race. Terry, tell us in this race what the conditions are.
All right, it's 6.5 furlongs, a claiming race of $5,000 claiming price, and it's a purse of $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won 2 races since December 25th.
And 6.5 furlongs, you're looking for the horses that typically win. They have some tactical speed, but a bunch still 3 out of 10 win wire to wire. There's a rail bonus for Liberty Star, 2 and 3 under par. 4 through 7, they play fair. And 8 and out, they're also under par. So it looks like you want to ride the rail or post 4, 5, 6, or 7. Any of those guys have any speed, Terry?
The 7 and the 3 show the most speed. So I guess the closest to the rail is that 3, but that 7, I think, is going to outbreak the 3 and get to that quarter pole first. The 5 shows an overlay of from about 7 to 5 to 9 to 2. And the 9 shows an overlay from about 2 to 1 to 6 to 1. The 5, 9, 6, and 1 show the par plus numbers. And all but the 1 and 9 show pretty darn decent C zones.
Yeah, in our comfort zone. Typically, we want a horse that 50% or higher for a chance to find it raced to its liking. Our trip handicapping. Well, look at this race, Terry. Most everybody wants to be middle back. You have a lone E in Pylon. That's 7 horse. The 7 can get to the lead, could be very dangerous. Does look like he has a little bit of an early race advantage over Hyde the Ransom, who's a closer. Those left arrow horses, the ones that close, that typically move forward, can be extremely dangerous. As far as our late speed is concerned, the 5 horse, the pressure type, should also be in a pressure position. And We Ready, the closer, they're more than a length faster than everybody else down the stretch. Does look like Maximum Moment is another one of those top total pace horses that clears the 5-point hurdle. Every 5 points approximates to about 1 length. According to this, Maximum Moment should sit right off the pace and run by the 7 and win by about a length. Terry, and didn't make your picks.
No, it's my first alternate, but I like the one as my top pick. Liberty Star finished third versus Tupper in his last race. The rail posted win in 22% clip, and he has a high percentage winning trader who wins 27% of the races in the second race after claiming a horse. 6, Hide the Ransom, second choice, finished third in his last race at Parx Racing. He has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. We Ready, the 9, finished in the money in his last 5 starts, winning the last race. The trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days, they've won 3 out of 4 starts. And then the 3 is my long shot, Rejected again. He won his last race at Parx Racing. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters and at today's distance. I'm going to play the first Don Johnson Miami Vice pick 4. I'm going to play a 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9 with the 4, 8, with the 1, 2, 7, and 8, with the 2, 3. That should be a $48 ticket.
Yeah, I think mine's like $15 or something like that. But I'm going to go with the one horse Liberty Star as your winner too in the second start here. This one benefits from riding the rail. Did run some better times last time out at 6.5 furlongs versus the prior start at 5.5 furlongs. So you go a whole furlong longer, but faster. That's usually a sign of a horse in form. Number 5, Maximum Moment, is that top total pace horse. 6 points better than the next closest one. Sits right off the lead and then runs right by everybody at the end, if that's how he's going to win, with the top total pace and the top late pace. Hide the Ransom, the 6 horse, just missed at this level in its last race. It's a closer, going to get some extra distance, which could be beneficial. And then finally, that 7 horse for me, Terry, Pylon, likely pace setter. And yesterday, horses that got towards the front, they tended to stay towards the front. So he can get to the front, proper fractions, maybe go wire to wire. I did leave him off my pick 4. 1, 5, 6 with the 3, 8, with the 1, 3, with the 1, 2, 3, 8, and 9. Race number 3. Terry, tell us all about that one.
All righty then. It's a 6.5 furlong race again, but this time it's an optional claiming race. $16,000 claiming price if you elect to put your horse in there to possibly be claimed. And the purse is $25,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for $16,000 or less and which have never won 2 races. Their claiming price is $16,000, or which have never won 2 races.
Yes, 2 and 3, both the 6.5 furlong types that do favor front runners in there. A little bit of a rail bonus for reassess. 2 and 3 under par. 4 through 7, they're all right. 8 and out, they do get a little bit of a penalty, so they'll have to overcome. In the third race, Terry, our simulations tell us that there are a few horses to contend with early on.
Yeah, the 5, 2, and 7 show the most speed in here, and they're all pretty close. So it's anybody's guess who gets there first, I think. The 4 has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 3 to 1. The 8 has an overlay from about 3 to 5 to yeah, something like that, to 6 to 5. And then the 8 and the 4 show the only par plus. The 8 is really nice. And then all of them show C zones, and most of them are pretty nice. The 7's a little bit low.
7 would be the most comfortable in terms of its pace today. 7 wants to be forward along with the 5. Everybody else, middle back. Some flexibility out of the 4. Miss Cinnamon. Yeah, this race shape typically favors horses that get forward, Terry. Let's see if either one of those 5 or the 7, they're both going to be on the lead, although put the Crazy away. Another left arrow horse, a closer that has enough early speed to contend. But if you look here, with the exception of maybe the 3 or the 6, they'll all be pressing for the front. Put the Crazy away does also have the most late speed, a little bit better than Miss Cinnamon, the lone PC horse. As far as our top total pace, again, the 3rd race in a row, we find a horse with a decided advantage over the rest. Miss Cinnamon checking in 2nd with a decided advantage over the 7. So maybe a straight, ice cold, exacta 8-4, Terry. What do you say?
Well, I say that's a good thing to do because I like the 8 as the top choice. Put the Crazy away. Ran 2nd versus similar last race as a favorite, but she has a high percentage winning trainer. Wins 26% of the races when he brings back a favorite to race again. A beaten favorite. His best dirt speed is fast among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. The 4, Miss Cinnamon, won 2 out of her last 3 races, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. Number 3 is my third choice, Fast Gal. She drops in class today. She has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 25% of the races when dropping a horse off of a claim, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. The 6, Power and Glory, is my long shot winner last race at Parx Racing, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. No additional bets.
Christopher D'Souza coming in with his race 1 pick with the 1-7, exact the box, pretty firm in that. Race number 2, the 3 to win, 3-1-6, exacta and try box. And then race number 3, the 5 to win in place with the 2-7, exacta and trifecta box. I think the 8 horse does win this race, Terry. Just kind of looking at, put the crazy away, did up at speed figure in the last 3, just missed in the first 2 races after coming in from, track dropping, as I call it. Fast Girl, Paco Lopez riding Fast Girl on a horse that's also track dropping today. Miss Cinnamon, this is making a 3rd start after a layoff following a big maiden win and improved early pace. Swan's Island, the 7 horse, is that lone win, came off the bench just like today. And if you look, that most recent workout, 4 furlongs in 47-3, suggests this horse could be ready to fire off the bench again today. And that would be a long shot winner in there too. Race 4. Do we have time to do race 4, Terry?
Well, I don't think so. We only have 1 minute
to post. All right. Well, let's take a look. Let's rewind back to race number 1. Let's see where the horses are on the track. Yeah, they're still kind of dancing along in the back there. Tomorrow, you and I will be back to do Churchill Downs, probably about 10 minutes before first post. Thursday, we'll do Belmont at Aqueduct again, a few minutes before first post. On Friday, Tom and I will go back to Foreign Fridays, and we'll do the Curragh. Some big races there, and those Irish horses really dominated at the Royal Ascot. So let's see if they could dominate in Ireland. You probably should. So in race number 1, the 1 horse, Corona Campeon, is your favorite, the single, according to Leo. So let's see if indeed that works out. Next up on the odds board is the 10 horse at 5-2, Sweet Fury. What's next there? The 5 horse, Battaglia, at 5-1. Got a lot of long shots in here. The 8 horse, Treasure Piece, is the 8-1, 9-2. That's my pick on top there. Let's see if we find any value. It does look like right now the value horse is the 4, which we have odds at 7-2. Right now it's 8-1. And then it looks like the 10 horse, we had it at about 4-5. That one is 5-2. So maybe a 4-10 exacta box if you're a value player. That might be an astute way to go. And let's see, they're all starting to find their way into the gates. Not all that far off from the race call from Jessica Paquette. Looks like another overcastish day over there. There are some shadows. Looks like, but they're not very long. So it looks like it's an overcast day, but hot in Philadelphia today.
Yeah.
And you see people out there with long sleeves on. So that's all about. So it looks like we're waiting on the 5, the 9, 10, and 11 to get cracking in the first race at Parx on Tuesday.
They're taking their time today, aren't they?
Well, they've zoomed out. I like that. They've gone to the front angle, so that means they're about to get cooking. Looks like we just have one more horse, the 11 to load. The starter has moved his way to the back there, so they're out of the front. I guess the 11 horse is being a little bit difficult to load. Come on, getting him in there with that purple hat on. You're 16-1, my man. Don't hold us all up. The 1 horse odds, the late money coming in on the 1 horse down to 9-5. Now they've zoomed in on the starter's gate. The 5 horse. Well, they're putting that one in last for whatever reason, or maybe the 11, maybe a few to go. Can't really tell from this screen, this angle. Yeah, it looks like 1 more to load. I don't see the 11 anywhere on the screen. There he goes. All right. So they're all in. Assistant starter getting up in the gates, trying to straighten out the 11's head, and they're off in. They're running. It looks like at the moment, the bunch of them competing for the lead. Right now, it looks like the 4-horse has gotten to the lead with the 5 to its outside. Those two zooming to the front. It looks like they're running a little on the quick side. The 5-horse at 5-1, 6-1. The 4-horse at 12-1. They've got about a gap of a length and a half. Yeah, they're flying up front, 21-4. Be very curious to see if those fractions hold. Battaglia running a robust race here to get going because it goes through the turn on the front. Looks like his stride's starting to shorten up a lot already. So down around the corner they come. The 4-horse right now, he's pulling up around the outside there. Jockey's going, yeah. He's asking him to go. Looks like he's going to run. The 1-horse is going to try to make a run at it. Here comes the 10-horse. I don't know who's going to run him down, though. Looks like the 4-horse is slowing down a little bit. Here comes the 1, but they're really kind of flattening out a little bit. It's going to go 1. Looks like it was a single in there for you. Then the 10-horse, and the 4-horse, and then the 7. So 1 on the single, then the 10. So Terry with the exact thing to get started.
And trifecta.
Yeah, 1, 10, 4. Yeah, did the 4 hang on to there?
Oh, the 4 didn't run third?
I don't know. It's pretty close, I think. He may have run third, so that might have the trifecta as well. But the 7 came in there at the end, Nurse Carolyn. Just wonder if the 4 and the 5 don't go out in 21-3, if they're not really, well, the 5-horse, I don't know what his deal was, but the 21-3, a little quick for the 4 to hang on at the end, got a little bit leg weary, so maybe a better race from the 4 than it looked.
No, the 9 ran third. 9 ran third. Yeah.
All right, so now we are going to do race 4, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, share with us what they're running for in the 4th.
All right, in this 4th race, we've got a 1-mile race on the turf. It's a maiden claiming race, $16,000 claiming price, purse $22,000 for registered Pennsylvania-bred maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
And at a mile, they have not run any, so you got to kind of take a look at turf routes. Turf routes have favored horses that stalk, that are either on the rail or 8 or out from a post position standpoint. Terry, in the 4th race, again, we like to look at the speed horse to see where they're going to be on the track, and looks like all of them have some chance to be the forward horse.
Yeah, but the 2, 7, and 5 are pretty darn close to one another, so it's another one that we're not really sure who will get that quarter pole first. The 1 has an overlay from about 3 to 5 to 8 to 5. The 3 has an overlay from 6.5 to 1 to 10 to 1. And the 1 has the only par plus number. And then 2 and 8 have the only really decent seed zones, and they're not real high.
No, not robust at all. Let's see what kind of race advantage they might have in here. The race shape. Oh, look at this. 3, 7, and 8. They want to close the 1, 2, and 5. They have not been close at the end of the race. So maybe the 3, 7, and 8. That's it. Usually in these races, you get to the front, you have a good chance. Driven to Success, Rocket Ruby, and the Laser Jet. Those 3 will be forward. They're about a length quicker than everybody else, but really get bumped, slow start, wide trip, difference between first and worst at the quarter-mile marker. Pleasant Dreams does have the most late speed. That one's 8 points clear of the last Jet. Looking at our top total pace horse in here, Terry, it is the 1-horse. A little bit quicker than the Laser Jet. Again, pretty significant drop-off. Looks like the only horse that won't finish within 5 lengths of the leader here today is Lost in Thought. Terry, share your thoughts.
I like the 1, Pleasant Dreams. She drops in class today. The rail pole's winning at a 24% clip. She has a trainer who wins 22% of the races when taking a horse from a maiden race to a maiden claiming, and blinkers are added today. The 7, the Last Jet's my second choice. She finished 3rd on the dirt in her last race. Her dam, though, has 7 winners from 8 starters, but no turf winners. Number 2, Lost in Thought, is my 3rd choice. She drops in class today. She switches to high percentage winning jockey. She has a trainer wins 22% of the races when taking a horse from a sprint to a route. And my long shot is Whiskey Street Blues, the 8. Drops in class today. She has the highest last speed rating. Her trainer wins 33% of the races the second time he runs a horse on the grass. And she has a high percentage winning jockey. And then this is my second pick for Miami Vice, Don Johnson, 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8 with the 2, 3, with the 5, 6, 7, With the 245, that's a $45 ticket.
I had Pleasant Dreams. It's the only pure maiden special weight dropper in the field. Third career race. So a lot of upside potential in there. It does have a bullet workout between races, but that's probably going to be where our odds say 3 to 5, 1 to 2, somewhere in that mix. Driven to Success, the 3-horse, huge improvement in her last race. That was the first race on grass. The only other time the horse made it 2 races in a row. Second off the bench, showed some huge improvement. So big improvement on the grass, maybe the preferred surface. Big improvement coming in the second start after a layoff, maybe upsets that 3 to 5 horse. Whiskey Street Blues last race was its best speed figure and its first race on grass. Maybe a chance to improve in the second start on turf. Finally, The Last Jet. This horse has never really been close at the end of races. Did run a Z pattern in its last performance, so good early pace numbers, a little bit of a rest in the middle of the race, and then a second win down the stretch. I think this race is probably the 1 horses to win. I put the 3 horse in there because I feel like that's the one that stands to have the biggest improvement in here. 1, 2, 3, 8, 2, 5, 6, 7, and then the 1, 2, and 4 to close out my Don Johnson pick 4. In race number 4, the 2 horse for Christopher D'Souza, Lost in Thought, with the 7 and the 1 in the exacta box. Race 5, let's talk about that one, Terry.
Okay, well, we're going to go to 6 furlongs, claiming $7,500 claiming price. Purse $21,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 4 races.
Yeah, and to get that 4th win at 6 furlongs, surprisingly at Parx, it does favor stalkers in there, Terry. Tactical speed, but Jerome Bettis, 36% of the time, the horse that gets the lead runs straight into the winner's circle for a photo session. A little bit of a rail bonus for Harley's Charlie. 2 and 3, they're fair. If you go the 4 or out, there is a small discount, but not deal breakers. All right, Terry, who's going to have the duties of leading the race this time around?
Well, it looks like to me the 8 does, and the 8 should get to that quarter pole first. There's nothing that even comes close to it with the speed as far as the data shows there. And then that 3 shows an overlay from 4 to 5 to about 7 to 2. The 9 shows an overlay from almost 4 to 1 to 5 to 1. And the 3 and 9 show the only par plus numbers. The 3 is the best. And then all but the 7 have C zone numbers, although there's a couple of them that are a little bit slow.
Pace shape for race 6. Look at that. You got a lone E horse in here in 1200. 1, 3, 4, 6 want to close. 2, 7, and 9. I mean, want to sit off the pace. 2, 7, and 9. They want to close. This should really favor a horse that gets to the lead. The one that should be on the lead is that horse that we saw in our simulations, 1200. So those smart and fast, going to keep them company to its inside. So at 8 horse, it depends on how it clears. If it has to work around the corner to get the lead, could be difficult. If it can get the lead and clear, has a shot to go wire to wire. Big John, Harley's Charlie, and Dream Knight, those 3 will look to chase those horses up front down at the end. And then as far as our top total pace horse is concerned, Dream Knight, 1200, and Big John, a length better than the rest of the field in here, Terry. We both, again, see this 3 horse as a winner.
That's right. I'm going along with those data information, and I like the 3 Dream Knight. He won his last race at Parx Racing, and he has high percentage winning jockey Paco Lopez in the irons. And I like the 2 Big John. He drops the class today, switches to high percentage winning trainer, and this trainer wins 36% of the races when dropping a horse off of a claim, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. That's a lot of boxes marked off. Number 1, Harley's Charlie is my 3rd choice. He likes Parx Racing. He's finished in the money 64% of the time, won 12% of the races. Distance won't cause a problem as he's finished in the money 100% of the races and won 29% of those. And then 9, Kebab is my long shot, finished 3rd versus similar. In his last race, his early speed running style helps his chances, so the shorter distance could really help. And he has a high percentage winning trainer.
In that last race, we're being asked here by Raju, result of the first race. it went to 1 and then 10 and then 9 and then 4. So if you had the 110, which were the two favorites, surprisingly, that exacta paid $11.20 for a buck. Kind of more than you would expect. But it was a wide open race in there. Race 5, 8 to win on the 8 with the 2-9 exacta box. Dream Night win at very low odds, in my opinion. The 3 horse, 2 and 8 only horses with a chance, and I don't give them much, assuming Paco does his job. Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. I got the 3 horse Dream Night as my top pick, agreeing with Terry and with Scary Creations. That's probably a plus. Going to drop in class coming off a huge win. Did run the top last race speed figure. It was 8 points better than the next closest horse. The resume says that number should be at least as good, if not better, in the second start after layoff. Mil Dos Cientos is that lone E horse. If he can get to the lead, like we talked about in the pace setup, and do so with ease, could go wire to wire. Number 2, Big John. This one's going to run at the lowest level of its career, which is pretty low level. Last 10 races. It is a claim and going to drop. Trainer Michael Pino wins at 37% when doing that. It'd actually be a profitable transaction for him, too. And then finally, the 1 horse, Harley Charlie, is absolutely the perfect distance for him. 7 times that 6 furlongs, only 2 wins, 4 seconds and third. If I count that up, that's 100% in the money. The cutback in distance today could be helpful, but cut back to the right distance. So I don't know if the cutback in distance or running the distance is the right one. 6th race, Terry, as we make our way to the middle part of a dozen on the day. They're going to go a route. Share with us what they're doing here.
They're stretching out to 1 mile 16th. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price. Purse $20,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since March 25th.
Buck in the 16th on the main track. That typically is won by early speed. So you get to that lead, you get to that turn first, you got a really good chance to win 38% of the time. In fact, they do go gate to wire. There's a rail bonus for artistic reason. 2 and 3 under par. 4 through 7 play fair. If you're unfortunate and you have the 8 or higher, it's a pretty sizable discount. In race number 6, Terry, there isn't an 8 horse, but there is a fast couple. Well, again, a race for everybody with some chance to get to the lead, but probably the inside horse with the best chance.
Yeah, you're right about that. They all have some speed, but that one shows the most speed of all. The 2 has an overlay from 4 to 1 to 10 to 1. The 5 has an overlay from 7 to 2 to 9 to 2, and the 7 has an overlay from about 9 to 5 to 7 to 2. 7, 2, 5, and 1 show par plus numbers, with the 7 be the highest, and the 6, 7, 1, and 5 show the C zones.
Yeah, it's just really no dominant color here, though. There's 7 horse down here, though. Borderline Green Go is one of the best C zones, should be forward. Does have the top total pace and is our simulation favorite. So, yeah, Green Go horse for Assembly Point. Everything goes green, and then the horse goes to the winner's circle. In race number 6, everybody wants to be middle forward. The 6 horse, being one with a little bit of versatility, can be the pilot or co-pilot, depending upon the pace of these other horses. The 2 is your lone closer. So keep an eye on that guy, because all of these pressure each other to see which one's up front. That one can get an excellent trip. When the race starts, Assembly Point is a little bit faster, but not a whole lot faster than everybody else. All that other speed's to its inside. So, again, one that might have to work to get to the front. At the end of the race, the 2 horse and the 5 horse are your strongest closers. The 5 horse, maybe being lead dependent, could become discouraged and maybe not find his late legs. Your top total pace horse in here are the 5 and the 2, with the 7 being the speed horse that'll be up front. With a chance to perhaps go wire to wire, Terry. Is that what you see happening?
Yeah, I like that 7 Assembly Point. Yeah, I think so. He won his last race at Monmouth Park. He has the highest speed figure, today's distance, and a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Screensaver, the 5 second choice, finished 3rd versus similar in his last race as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 30% of the races when bringing those beaten favorites back to race again. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. He's actually tied with another horse, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Pit Boss, the 6, is my 3rd choice, finished 3rd versus Tougher in his last race. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters, tied with the 5. And then the one, artistic reasons, my long shot likes Parx Racing, finishing the money 67% of the time, winning 20% of those races. And the distance won't cause any problems, as he's been in the money 61% of the time and won 17% of those. Here comes my third pick 4 for Miami Vice, Don Johnson, 567 with the 245, with the 267 with the 456, $40.50.
Scary is not liking a 7 at all. Much cheaper. So here he's disagreeing with us. Then the 1 and the 6. He has Paco, good trainer. But I have him on top. Going to be up front. He does tend to fade. I agree with you. But this is the distance where he gets it right. 14 times out. 6 of those ending up in the winner's circle. Just 2 times making that trip in 18 races at any other distance. Screensaver, the 5 horse, going to be coming at the end. Got that top duo of Jamie Ness and Mikel Sanchez. You can never discount them. Crypt, the 2 horse, does have the most back class in the field. Going to make his first start for Jamie Ness, so you know his diet's going to be right today. And that's a 32% angle for a trainer who wins at 20%. Hard to believe Jamie finds alpha in anything. And then finally, the 6 horse Pit Boss. Lowest level in its last 10 races after proving a lot at the beginning of its last effort. I'm going to go with my pick 4, 2, 5, 6, 7 with the 1, 2, 4, with the 2, 3, with the 1, 4, 5, and 6. That is a $48 ticket since we are only allowed to bet $50 at a time. Race 6, 40 to win on the 1, Artistic Reason, 147 exact the trifecta box, and he's laughing all the way to the bank, smiling in there. I don't think the 7, I don't mean he has to lead 1 time at first call out of his last 10 races. I agree with you. If you look to in here, a lot of these horses with some opportunity to get to the front. As we mentioned over here, a lot of them to its inside. So, but he does have a little bit of a pace advantage in his recent races over everybody else. So maybe on paper it doesn't look like he gets there, but the math says he's got a really good chance to get there. So we'll see how that all plays out. I would really like for them to, I think horse racing would be smart if it did this, Terry. And what do you guys think?
Yeah,
I feel like the horse racing should allow you to have inner race bets, like who will have the lead at the quarter mile marker. You know, you can have half mile, exact, the trifectas, that sort of stuff. I think it would open up the amount of pools, and it might interest, same race parlays like they have in football and all that kind of stuff. I think it might open up interest in other people to betting. What do you think, Terry?
I do. I think that's a good idea. So why don't we lobby for that? So.
Yeah, I don't know. What does everybody else think? I feel like, we're almost a lot of times when we do our pace setup and you watch how the race plays out, man, so many times we're right on, even for horses that don't look like they're going to get there. They actually do. And I think we would clean up on that. So I'm a little selfish in that respect, I guess. All right. So in the 7th race, Terry, share with us the prize, the purse, and all of the pertinent information.
All right. It's 1 mile and 70 yards, claiming race 25,000, purse 32,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since March 25th. Claiming races for 16,000 or less not considered, of which have never won 4 races.
Yes, the $170 dirt races at Parx do favor early speed again. Boy, surprisingly, or not surprisingly, a bunch, 42% win on the lead. Rail penalty for legal deal. 2 and 3 get a bit of a bonus. 4 through 7, a small discount. 8 and out, a bonus as well. So pretty fair in terms of post positions in there, Terry, except perhaps for the rail. In race number 7, where is all the speed? It's on the rail.
Well, it's really on the rails. The 1 horse shows the most speed, followed up by the 4 and the 2. So I think that one should get to that quarter pole first, as long as it gets a good break. The 1 also has a very small overlay. It's 3 to 1 to 7 to 2. The 4 has an overlay from 7 to 2 to 9 to 2. All of them show par plus numbers, although the 3 is a little bit low. And all of them show C zones, but that 3 again is kind of low.
Yeah, so just from the data, maybe you can take it down to a 5-horse field with win 99, perhaps not fitting in. The odds seem to be straight on. This race looks like, from our simulation, is really any one of them has a chance to win. Maybe the 3 with the most difficult chance to get there. Really no lead dependent horse on here. Everybody wants to be middle of back, some versatility with the 2, 1, and 4. So I feel like, again, in this race shape, if you can be middle forward, you got a great chance to win. Jamode has a good chance to be at least up on the lead right there. Legal Deal right in that mix too. Vine Jet, the EP horse, can be right there as well. At the end of the race, it does look like Roan Mountain, the 6 horse, the closer, probably going to be a little bit more off the pace than he needs to be in order to maximize his late race ability. Although he does grade out along with the 1, 2, and 6 as your top total pace horses. Really, Yodel Eehu, who is the post-time morning line favorite, really the only one that doesn't look like it fits in with the top total pace picture. Terry, who fits in at the top of your picture?
Well, I like Vine Jet, the 2. Finished in the money his last 6 starts, winning 2 and running second versus similar in last race. Has a high percentage winning trainer. Jamode, the 4, is my second choice. Won his last race by 16 lengths, and he has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 25% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Yodel Eehu, the 5, is my third choice. Drops in class today. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey as well. And the 6, Roan Mountain, my long shot, ran second versus similar in his last race. He has a highest speed figure at today's distance, and he has a high percentage winning jockey, which is Paco Lopez.
So Enrique Martinez says he's going to launch in the 3rd race with number 2. That's Fast Motion. All right, that's a long shot in there. And going back to our last race, race number 6, Artistic Reason is going to be on the lead, absolutely guaranteeing it. Well, according to our thing, he has the best chance to be on the lead with the 7 right behind him. Plus, he's to the inside, so it'd be interesting to see how those 2 play out in race number 7. Terry, you made your picks right.
Yep.
My turn. I'm going to go with the 4 horse on top as my top pick, Jamode. The last time out, he won by 16. Didn't even have to work in that sort of race. Good chance to perhaps improve on that, which might be hard to do in the 3rd start after a layoff. Vine Jet, the 2 horse, always very close at the end of races, has a versatile running style, as we saw, EP type. Did run much faster fractions in his last. Legal Deal, the 1 horse, going to make its 3rd start after a layoff, dropping in class. It's a horse that should be trucking at the end of the race. Finally, Yodel Eehu, lowest level in its last 10 races. I don't know that the horse is going to live up to the morning line odds of 2 to 1, but it certainly looks to me like Jamie Ness is trying to get this horse into the money, collect the check, and hopefully someone buys it from him. I think that's the intention from Jamie Ness's standpoint. Race number 7 for Christopher D'Souza. Legal Deal is your winner with the 4, Jamode and Roan Mountain in the exacta box there. And for race number 2, we got about 2 minutes. So before I don't think we have time to go off to the next race. Do we, Terry?
No, not really.
Not really. So again, tomorrow we're going to go about our business at Churchill Downs on Thursday, Ben Belmont at Aqueduct, the Cura on Friday. Of course, we're off on the weekends. Maybe we'll change that up sometime down the line. Free picks today for FanDuel over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. A link down in the description. Use that. When the show is over, we will timestamp all of the races in the description on YouTube, so you can come back and watch whatever race you want just by clicking on the time. So make sure when you go there, you'll see in the description it says more. Click on more. It'll take you to the timestamps. And of course, Terry, if you're joining us for the first time or the 100th time, if you haven't done so, kindly please
subscribe on YouTube. Hit that little bell so you're told about all the great shows that we have coming up. And then also copy that link down at the bottom and share it with all your friends, relatives, everybody you know, so they can come and check us out too. Go to our social sites such as TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, and Threads at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and or a like. That'll help us out quite a bit.
So race number 2 about to get cooking here. 1 minute to post. They're still kind of running around. The 1 horse Liberty Star is your 3-2 favorite. Maybe a little bit of an overlay or underlay there because we have it closer to 9-1. It's fair odds. looking for some value in there, the 5-horse Maximum Moment, that one is 6-1. We have it, it should be around 7-5, somewhere in that ballpark. 6-5 should be one of your favorites. And that one is 6-1. The 9-horse, We Ready, another one closer to 2-1. That one is 7-1. So you got some value in those. The 6-horse, Hide the Ransom, is your second choice amongst the betting public at 2-1. So those two are your favorites. The other two are your value horses. They're making their way to the starting gate right now. I don't know what else to say, Terry. Any thoughts from you?
No, just that yesterday you did a great job. Well, you picked that, I think, in the 4th race, the number 4 horse. I didn't even have it in my picks at all, and it won. It actually was going to be passed by the 6, which was the hard favorite, and it pulled away again from the 6 to win that race. Paid over $11, so I was really great handicapping on your part.
It was a fun day yesterday at Parx. A lot of trifectas in the pick, so I was pleased with that. Hopefully, we'll see that continue today. Kind of missed a little bit in the first race. Had the horses just not in the order. I feel like they went too fast early on. It kind of killed the 4's chances to win that race. You can't go 21-4 at Parx, and what was it, a 6.5 furlong race and win? Maybe a 4 furlong race. The fractions might work, but
yeah,
certainly not at 6.5 furlongs. Or 6 furlongs. A little too much, but still kind of hung in there to the last breaths. So a better race than it might look on paper when the runs next time out and people are looking through the PPs. They're going to see a hard fade, and if they don't pay attention to the fractions, they won't see how hard that horse ran early on. All right, so here we go in race number 2.
Yep.
So starting to load up. You do have the 1 and the 6 as your favorites, the prohibited favorites. Next up on the board is the 5-horse, and then the 9-horse, and then the 3-horse. Jessica Paquette saying they're about to get going in my ear. Sometimes that's a little bit confusing. The people on TV, they have the producers talking into their ear. That must take a little bit of time to get used to. All right. Come on now. Let's get cooking. If you're watching on Twitter, if you could kindly hit the retweet button, we would appreciate that. If you would kindly head over to @HRTRich. That's me on Twitter. Follow me. Soon I will be posting some picks of the day over there in a little bit of a twist to it, taking Benjamin Franklin to the track with me. That should be coming forth. I'm shooting for the 1st of July to get cooking, because I figure the first day of the month is a good day to bring out a new idea. And I think they're all up and in there. So they're ready to get going. In this case, we think Pylon has a good shot to get to the lead, and Pylon is the one that has taken to the early lead. He's been able to clear the field pretty easily. I might be somewhat regretful to not put him in my pick 4 as my 4th pick. It's always the one that kind of gets me. The 3-horse, the one we thought would be in the 2nd position, the co-pilot position, is indeed in that co-pilot position. The 5-horse is in 3rd, and they're about a length clear of the 6-horse in there. Hide the Ransom with the favorite, the 1-horse. Down there on the rail, the 7-horse. Wait, a lot of these horses in here at nice prices, too. They're 92, 8-1 on that 5-horse. They ran 22-3, a little bit perhaps on the quick side, too. The 7-horse continues to run pretty easy on the lead. The 5-horse is ranging up on the outside. Those two run a 46-1. Man, they're blazing. This should really set up for a horse to come from off the pace. Does look like right now the 3-horse is the one that's on the outside with the best chance of running by him, though. They're really cracking on that 5-horse. The 1-horse is coming up the rail. The 7-horse, the 5-horse, here comes the 6-horse with a lot of speed in the end. But it does look like this is going to be the 1-horse's race to win. The 7-horse hanging in there for 2nd place. It's going to go 1, 7, 5, 6, 1, 7, 5, and 6. Should have just singled that 1-horse, Terry, for the both of us.
Yeah, not like me. I put 6 horses in there. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the 7, I feel like, again, ran a good race again, but I don't know what these guys are doing out there with these fast fractions.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, 46-1 for a half. That's pretty fast. I mean, you gotta kind of reel that in a little bit. But anyway, I ended up with the superfecta. Hopefully it pays something. A lot of these horses going off 4-1, 5-1. So maybe that dime superfecta box pays more than $2.40. Where are we off to now, Terry?
Okay, race number 8.
The 8th spot on a 12 race card. A lot of races today. A lot of races yesterday too in Philadelphia. Again, tracks that are really struggling. Maybe the California tracks might think about the Pennsylvania model. Terry, tell us about the model for race number 8.
It's a 7 furlong race. It's a maiden claiming race, $25,000 claiming price. Purse $26,000 for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward.
And at 7 furlong, speed is the least important at this distance than any other, it looks like, at Parx. Only 17%, still more than their fair share win on the front. The rail is fair. Whoosh won't get that advantage today. Looks like Curlin's Cruisin' will. 2 and 3 also get a bonus. 4 through 7 discounted. The closer you are to the rail, the better off you are. Although, again, none of them are really going to crush your chances to win. Speed, not an important factor as it is in other distances, Terry, but sure looks like 2 of them are going to put that to the test.
Yeah, that 3 and that 2 has all the speed in the world compared to the rest of the horses. So they could go head-to-head to that quarter pole. 3 shows the only overlay that I see, which is about 4 to 5 or 6 to 5, something like that, 6 to 1. And then the 3 and the 2 have the only par plus numbers. They all have C zones, but the 6 and the 9 and the 3 is very low. So there you go.
Yeah, looks like the 2 and the 3 are going to just get it to the front and battle each other to the finish line, according to our data here. Is that what we see in the pace setup? Well, the 2 is a lone E. The 3 and 5 want to be in the pressure position. The 4 close. 6, 7, 8, and 9. So far, all those outside horses not within 5 lengths of the winner at the end. So maybe just take the 2, 3, 4, and 5 and forget about it, just from a race shape standpoint. At the beginning, Cray Nadun is your quickest horse by about 3/4 of a length over Curlin's Cruisin'. At the end of the race, it also looks like the 3 horse has the most, some of the most late speed. Only Cary Grant, the not close type in that mix. Top total pace horse in here. It's a standout. Cray Nadun. That one is 11 points better than Biagio, Curlin's Cruisin'. And Cary Grant, pretty consistent all the way down to here. Looks like maybe the 4 and 9 might not finish within 5 lengths of the leader in here, Terry. That 3 horse looks like a standout from a pace standpoint. You say, forget that guy altogether. You're going to go with the 2.
I am Curlin's cousin, Cruisin'. He's highest last speed rating. He has the highest percent winning trainer. And this trainer wins 30% of the races when taking a horse from a route to a sprint. Has a high percentage winning jockey. Star of Carizia. Anyway, the 6. Second choice ran second versus similar in his last race. Has a high percentage winning jockey. The 7 is my third pick. He ran third in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Wins 21% of the maiden claiming races he has a horse in. The 4 viral video is my third choice. He finished, or actually my long shot, he finished third versus similar in his last race, and his third speed is fastest than the average winning speed. And my first alternate is that 3.
Cray Nadun. That's my first pick in here. You can't pass, but you can't catch. Top total paces we saw. More than 10 points clear. Those horses always are in the mix. Does have the most early speed and the second most late speed. Number 2, Curlin's Cruisin'. This is a track dropper. Coming in for one of the best trainers in the country, Safi Joseph Jr. What in the hell is this horse doing at Parx? The 5 horse, Make My Day, Charlie. If he gets off to a fast start, he's the only and big class dropper. He'll win. And then number 6, Star of Caesarea, Paco Lopez, riding a consistent performer that makes his second start at Parx after coming in from Kentucky. So a track dropper with Paco on board today. Race 9. Oof, a lot to go. So let's talk about this one, Terry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is a 6 furlongs, optional claiming race, $40,000 claiming price. If you elect to put your horse in there to possibly be claimed, purse $52,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 2 races other than a maiden claiming starter or state bred, or which have never won 3 races or claiming prices of $40,000.
And to stalk is to win at the distance, but again, still plenty of them, 36 out of 100. Getting to the front, staying on the front, and getting a photograph. Rail bonus for easy day. Maybe you can make an easy day out of this field. 2 and 3 fair, 4 through 7, 4 and out, small discount. Pretty much everybody's got a shot to win on post position. Get a good stalking trip, and you got a good chance to win. And this is a race where just about anybody can be anywhere at the beginning.
Yeah. They all show speed in here, but the 8 shows the most, but it's not really that high compared to the rest. The 4 has an overlay from, it's very small. It's for like 5-2 to 3-1. And the 5 has an overlay from about 8-5 to 9-2. 5, 4, and 6 show the only par plus numbers. And the all show some kind of C zones, although a couple of them are pretty low.
Yeah, only 2 of them cresting 50%, the 3 and the 5. The 6 horse right on the edge there. You round up, it's a 50%er for the 6 horse. Wide open race from that standpoint, wide open race from a positional standpoint. Just completely balanced in there. Although the 4 and 6 and 3 and 5, those 4 inside horses, a lot of versatility in those guys. So perhaps they should get really nice trips. Tough Constitution is going to be on the mix with the 6 horse and the 4 horse. Looks like Trader's Luck on the outside, maybe lead dependent, could find itself with a very difficult early part of the race. At the end, Easy Day is the strongest of the closers, just a quick couple of points faster than that 5 horse. Don't wait up. Our top total pace telling us you have 3 horses, the 4, 5, and 6, or maybe the 1 in there and the 3, considerably better than the rest. So maybe the 4, 5, 6 in the middle, a nice exacta trifecta box. Curious see what Scary or Chris D'Souza or others think in this race. Terry, we both have the 4, 5, and 6, just in a little bit different order.
That's right. I like the 4 Speaking. He won 3 races in a row, and now he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and he has a good workout on June 16th. Then I like Magic in the Moonlight, the 6. He actually finished in the money 8 out of the last 10 races, winning 3 of those starts, has the highest last speed rating, so he's very competitive. The 5, Don't Wait Up, is my 3rd shot. Won his only start at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and the 8 is my long shot, Trader's Luck. He has won his last start at Parx Racing, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm going to play my last Don Johnson Miami Vice pick 4. I'm going to use the 1, 4, 5, 6, 8 with the 2, 4, 6, 7. I'm going to single the 9 and then finish up with the 2, 3, 6, 8, 9. That's a $50 play.
5 horse for me. Don't Wait Up is my top choice in this race. Looking at it, mashed the competition in his only race at Parx, rerun that race at Parx, and he is 2-0 in Philadelphia. Number 4, Speaking, is right in the right distance, 9 times out, won 6 of them. He's tried another distance 6 times and hasn't scored but 1 win. Number 6, Magic in the Moonlight, very consistent performer, probably the most consistent performer in the field. Maybe going to edge up a little bit in terms of its ceiling today with better early speed last time out. And then number 1, Easy Day, is my final selection here. 3rd up, does have a really fast workout between races, 4 furlongs and 47 and 3. I might regret not putting that one in my pick 4. I'm going to go 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 6, 9, 2, 6, 10. I did put him in originally, but as I made my way through the rest of the card, I felt like the last 4 races, it's pretty much anything goes. So wanted to have a little bit of coverage anywhere, or like Terry, make a commitment to 1 horse. I couldn't find one to make a commitment to, so we'll commit to going to race number 10.
Okay, race 10 is coming up here. It's going to be a 1 mile and 70 yards, claiming race of $40,000 claiming price, $35,000 purse. For 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since March 25th, claiming races for $25,000 or less are not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
Usually we're done with this race. We still got 2 to go after this, but at 1 mile and 70 yards, again, speed. Be fast. 42% of the time, be the fastest to the quarter-mile marker, and you will get the winner's check a little bit of a rail penalty for Sailor's Return. 2 and 3, a touch of a bonus. 4 through 7, a small discount. 8 and out gets a bonus as well. Once again, you go route at Parx, you better go fast early on. And here we find one that will go fast early on.
Yeah, all of them but the 3 show some kind of speed, but that 7 shows quite a bit more than the rest of them. And then the 3 has an overlay of under even money to 5 to 1. The 3, 2, 4, and 5 show the par plus, especially that 3. And then the all show C zones, although that 1 and 5 are kind of low.
Yeah, so again, looking for 50% or higher. That means a 50% or better chance that this pace today will match their best performances in Par Plus. 10,000 simulations where we project out a speed figure. 5,580 times Wish for Peace ran a speed figure of at least 91. That's pretty robust in there. As far as our trip handicapping is concerned, look at this race. Everybody wants to be middle forward. 4 horse with some versatility. The 3 horse, the lone pressure type. Everybody else just really wanted to push forward in here, Terry. Let's see how that looks. The 4 horse, the PC horse, actually could be up on the lead with Simovic. So you got a lot of horses in there chasing. The only one that won't chase early on looks like Wish for Peace, although that one has some crazy late speed at 99, damn near stakes level late speed in there, Terry. If all these other horses in front of it really get after each other, that one will be sitting pretty. Looking at the late speed, total speed picture, Wish for Peace is 5 points better than the rest. So really hoping for a speed meltdown for Wish for Peace. You don't have that one in your picks. You think the fastest of the fast will go wire to wire.
Yeah, Windsor Gold, I think he will. He likes Parx racing. He's finished in the money 76% of the races, and he won 24% of those starts. The distance won't cause any problems as he's finished in the money 89% of the time, and he won 33% of the races. Number 2, Time to Cruise, my second choice, finished third versus similar in his last race. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Simovic, the 6, is my third choice, finished third versus tougher in his last race and drops in class today. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance. His best speed is fastest among today's starters. He also has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, which means he's marked lots of boxes off. The 4, Concealed Carry, he won his last race at Parx Racing, and he has the highest last speed rating. He's my long shot.
I'm going to go with that 3 horse, hope for that speed melt up. Crazy late speed in a field that wants to be forward with that top total pace in there. Time to Cruise, the first start after a layoff for Frankie Pennington and Jamie Ness. They're a dynamic duo. The last time this horse came off the bench, it won and does have a series of nice workouts getting prepped for today. Ron Don Scorsese, the 5 horse. And here, this is another Jamie Ness horse, this time teaming up with Mikel Sanchez. That's another dynamic duo. The last 3 times Mr. Sanchez rode this horse, Terry, you know what he did?
He won.
He won. Number 7, Windsor Gold. That one's going to be at the distance. That's spot on for the potential front runner in here. 9 times out, 5 seconds, 3 wins, and a third. No bets for me because we're all out of money. Race number 11 begins the late daily double. They ran 11 yesterday. One more to go after this, Terry. Before we get to that one, share this one.
All right. Well, this is 1 mile and 70 yards. It's a turf race. It's an allowance race, $41,000 purse, registered Pennsylvania-bred 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won a Pennsylvania-bred restricted race other than maiden claiming or starter.
And 1 mile and 70 yards on the turf. They've only run a handful of them. So turf routes, as we mentioned before, favor stalkers. And then horses on the rail or 8 and out seem to have a little bit of an edge in the limited number of races that go long on the grass. Terry, a little bit of tactical speed, some stalkers in race number 11. And again, a lot of speed, particularly to the inside in this case.
Yeah, that's right. There's several of them that show some speed, but 1 and 3 have the most. And then the 3 shows an overlay from 4 to 5 to 5 to 1. And the 5 shows an overlay from 9 to 2 to 8 to 1. The 3 and the 9 show the only par plus numbers. And all of them show some kind of C zones, although that 4 is pretty low.
Looking just another case where a lot of horses can win. Most of your horses kind of balanced out in here a little bit, still kind of a little tilted towards the front. We did see that in the simulations. None of them really have blazing early speed, but it does look like on the rail, factor you and me in. A little bit better than Big Boy's Answer, a little bit better than Picture This. So I think the 1 probably gets the lead. The 3 will be there. The 5 maybe forced wide. So maybe a tough trip for the 5, although it doesn't need the lead with that PC designation. At the end of the race, where this might be one, Terry, Picture This does have a little bit more late speed than F35. They're a little bit quicker than everybody else. Big drop off down here. Our top total pace picture tells us Picture This is 7 points clear of F35. Big Boy's Answer a little bit below that too. So maybe a 3-6, Terry. You don't have the 3, but you do have the 6.
Yeah, that's true. But I start out with the 9, my pick of the day, and hoping to get a price on this horse. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 40% of the races when bringing back a horse after being off 90 plus days. The best start speed is fastest among these starters, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like number 6, If 35. He won his last race at Park Racing, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 5, Big Boy's Answer. He ran second on the dirt in his last race. His dams produced 1 turf winner, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Retweet, the 8, is my long shot. He ran second in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. And if I had any money to bet, I'd bet 10 to win and 30 to place on that 9.
I am going to look at the 3 horse in here. Picture This as the winner in this race. He is our simulation favorite in there. They win at about 30% clip. Lone turf race that this horse ever had, that was at Gulfstream Park. If he can rerun that race, he probably wins. F35, you have Kendrick Carmouche on a horse that wants to be on the lead. No other better place to find Kendrick. He loves to be on horses that are on the lead. Spy Novel. This one's coming in from Barbados. And the workouts since coming in from the island are sparkling. So maybe Terry's workouts will translate to his best bet of the day. Big Boy's Answer, first up, and won his last time the horse ran its first start after a layoff. Only question for me is this one hasn't tried turf before, and there's really not any kind of a hint on an all-weather or off-track situation. All right, so we made it through 11. That means we got 1 more to go on this 12 race card on Terrific Terry Tuesday. Take us through the 12th.
It's 6.5 furlongs, a claiming race of $5,000 claiming price, purse $18,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won 2 races since September 25th.
Christopher D'Souza going big on that last race on the 10 horse. He's going to put 40 on it to win in race number 11. Let's rewind back to that, see which one that is. That is Bandula. Yeah, it's a big one. Again, not one in our pick, so hopefully Chris doesn't throw a grenade in the middle of our pick 4s again. In the 12th race at 6.5 furlongs, a common distance today. We saw that in the opener, tactical speed. 30% can go wire to wire, provided they don't run opening quarters of 21 and change, and then in opening halves and 46 and change. A bit of a rail bonus for more ransom. 2 and 3 under par, 4 through 7 fair, 8 and out under par. Again, Terry, give me speed and give me a shot to win. Who's got that early pace?
Well, there's a couple of 3 with speeds in here, but 8 has the most. The 1 has a small overlay from just over 7 to 1 to 8 to 1, and the 10 has an overlay from almost 3 to 1 to 9 to 2. The 6 and the 10 show the only par plus numbers, and all but the 1 has C zones.
So, yeah, again, another race where color just dotting every which way. A lot of horses in the race, so you're going to need a tactical edge. Most of the horses want to be in the back, Terry, want to close. This really could favor, especially at the distance. I mean, speed does win. So get a horse that gets close to the front. You got a chance at Gios Fuego, the 5 horse, a left arrow horse. Captivating Cara, another left arrow horse. The 4 horse, Leviosa, another one. PC type. So it looks like the horses that want to be on the front might actually have a hard time getting to the front. As far as the late speed is concerned, more ransom, the 1 horse, a closer, a length better than High Time Valentine. Neither one of them are going to be all that far off the pace. Captivating Cara, one of the potential front runners right there as well. Our top total pace does look like it gives us 4 horses that are a little bit better than the rest. Normally, about 72, 73% of the time, The winner comes from that top 4, Terry. The 10 horse grades out as the top total pace horse. Doesn't get a call in your picks at all, but we do agree on the 6.
I do. I like the 6 High Time Valentine. She finished third versus Tougher in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockeys. Scintillating Star, the 8 is my second choice. She likes this track as she's finished 50% of the time in the money and won 25% of those starts. And she likes the distance as she's finished in the money 50% of the races. And then I like the 2 Boca Royalty. She finished third versus Tougher in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. The 3 is my long shot, drops in class today, and has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer.
Hey, I feel like, a lot of scratches just really messed up the way I thought this race might play out. I'm going to go with Captivating Kara, the 10 horse, the top total pace horse in here is my top play. It is a left arrow horse. It's running in the lowest level that it has in the last 10 races, and it's going to carry less weight today. So plenty of reasons to think that this one should be competitive here. The 6 horse High Time Valentine, really consistent performer, ran faster fractions last out. I'm a little worried about some regression, however, because it's run 3 peak numbers, some of its highest numbers in a row in its last 10 races. Number 2, Boca Royalty, nice effort in the last race, despite a troubled trip. Had to go wide. It is taking a class drop, move to the inside, takes care of that wide trip. Number 9, Juliet's Magic, was a tough call for me over the likely pace setter here, Scintillating Star, but Juliet's Music was much better across the board with all of its race internals last time out, and is going to drop in class on top of that. Here are all of our picks for today. In that second race, Terry, where the 1 horse did win to start off our pick 4s, that Superfecta with the 1, the 7, the 6, and the 5 for a dime box paid $27.60.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, not bad at all. If you had Paxton for the trifecta too, you would have ended up with $48.25. So pretty decent numbers. So a lot of those horses in there kind of after the favorite were middling in terms of their odds. Race 12, Christopher D'Souza likes the 12 and the 6. So he's going with the even number horses there. We got just a couple of minutes coming up before this next race, Terry. So let's talk about what happens in race number 3. Again, if you haven't done so, kindly subscribe. You see all of our social sites scrolling down there below. Horse Race, the number 2 day, on Twitter, on Instagram, on X, on Facebook. Head on over to Facebook. A lot of folks are joining us over there. The community's 18,000 strong from folks who like horse racing, so you won't be alone over there. Our Swiss Army Sean does a great job of keeping people up to speed with the latest ongoings in horse racing. Again, Churchill tomorrow, Belmont and Aqueduct Thursday, Curra on Friday. In just a little bit, we'll timestamp all the races and post them over at horseracingtoday.net. While you're there, kindly hit on that HRT gear link. Go out and get yourself a Horse Racing Today trucker's hat. See you in the winner's circle. Nobody else will have that on, and you can customize it too. So if you don't like the black and you prefer the red, you can do that. If you prefer the light blue, you can do that. I know that kind of looks funky to me, though, Terry. What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah, I kind of like the one that we had up there the best, right there. Straight up trucker hat. All right, they're starting to move to the back of the starting gate. They should start loading any minute now. In race number 3, let's take a look at our race shape. Looks like the 8 horse at 4 to 5. Still some value in that because we think it should be perhaps as low as 1 to 2. And also a 57% chance to run a speed figure of better than par. And for that third race, that is a number of 78. So just a kind of a middle of the road speed number in there. Your next favorite is the 3 horse in there. That is Fast Gal. Then you have the 4 horse, Miss Cinnamon, at 4 to 1. After that, the 6 horse. Everybody else into double digits there. The 7 horse at 30 to 1, Swan's Island. Why did I got the 7 horse in there, Terry?
I don't know. You liked it.
I'm looking at the wrong day. Race number 3, the 7 horse. Let's see. Swans Island. Lone Wind came off the bench like today and has that really fast workout. So look out at that one, 30-1. I might regret not having that in my pick 4 here. What
Yeah,
do I
you
have
might.
here? I have the 3 and the 8.
You might regret not having the 4.
Maybe. We'll find out. You might regret not having the 3.
I might.
How you like them apples?
I like it. Yeah.
All right. Well, what's going to happen is the 7 horse is just going to get to the lead. Got a couple horses acting a little wild before they get started in here. And they're all in the gate. My computer's frozen a bit. All right, here we go. Let's talk about race number 3, and then we'll be on our way. And they're off and running. And the 8 horse getting a sharp break. The jockey almost fell off the 6 horse. The 7 horse with that fast early got to the lead right there, Terry. The 2, the 3. They're all kind of bunched up except for that 6 horse with the funky break, who's way, 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 way in the back. Right now, as we come down the stretch, it looks like the 2 horses just jetted to the lead, fast motion. The 5 horse sitting there in second. And then behind that, you have the 7 at 60-1. What in the hell is going on there? Some horse right now making a pretty aggressive move. That is the 8 horse. It's on its way up to the front. Looks like it's running the best. They ran 22-1. 2 horses kind of looking under his legs there a little bit to see what's happening. 5 horse continues to be in the mix. The 8 horse is bounding along upside at 1-5. That looks like it's going to be your winner, Terry. Pretty easily winner. Unless some of these other horses find some afterburners, which I don't think they're going to have. It's going to go 8. And then, yeah, just anything really doesn't matter in the back there. Because they're all way off. This horse is drawing off like Secretariat. It's going to go 8-2. Neither one of us is going to regret not having the 3 or the 4. 8 horse is your easy winner. Put the crazy away. Puts him away at 1-5. Was that where he finally went off at?
Yep,
yeah.
1-5. Yep.
So no value in the end there at all, which is kind of why I did a $15 ticket, because I felt like there could be some really short prices coming through. Hopefully, can get $15 back. Yeah, all right, folks. All right, Terry, what are you going to say?
I was just going to say I was hoping in that first leg that something would come through that paid a little more, but that's the way racing is a lot of times. So
yeah, we have a favorite and the favorite. So some of these other horses back in there, the 7, 5, and 6 were in that mix, but neither one of them came home. So got to maybe find the long shot in race 4 or 5. Here are the rest of our picks for the rest of this day. A lot of races to go. Still almost a full card. 9 races at Parx tomorrow. How many do we have at Churchill tomorrow, Terry? Certainly not 12.
No, there's 9, I think, tomorrow. 9.
It's gonna feel like a vacation day. So make sure you tune in for that. Any final thoughts from you, Terry, before we split?
Well, everybody just take it easy. Have a great time. Be safe. Give your loved ones a hug and a kiss. Tell them how you feel, because you never know what's going to happen day to day. Other than that, see you later.
That's all right. Poison ivy. Hopefully you get over that. I know that can be tough. I used to get that as a kid. I don't got it anymore. I remember being coated in that pink calamine lotion, just drying the hell out of everything.
Me too. I was 8 years old, and I had it from top to bottom, all over.
So go out and get that calamine motion, no matter what you're doing, whether you're battling poison ivy, just trying to pick a couple of winners that aren't 2-5 or 1-5 at Parx today. Certainly treat people like you want to be treated. Hope all of your life's goals and endeavors do have God's grace, God's favor, and everything you do until we get back together for Hump Day with Holiday Hay, Hollywood Hay, ends up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. See you tomorrow.